All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 294 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast. And we're back broadcasting once again from deep underneath a nondescript home in suburban Pennsylvania. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being a part of this and all that jazz. How you guys doing? The last episode, the previous episode, I think it was the previous one. I was talking about all the roadblocks that the universe is throwing up in front of us, trying to stop us from having our wonderful vacation. Our wonderful October vacation, which we've been working towards all summer. You know, it's one of those things, if you have something planned in the future, it keeps you sane in the present. At least you have that. Something to look forward to, right? This is something we've been, we talk about quite often. I wouldn't say we're obsessed with it, but it's, we talk about it. And it's something we've planned. We have a lot of stuff planned. This trip that we're taking, which is this week. In the last episode, the Patreon episode, I talked about how the universe is throwing up roadblocks, obstacles. First of all, Toney lost her job. Second of all, I thought we were convinced that she had some kind of like a blood clot in her leg. You know, there was what were the other problems? Hang on a second, let me check my notes here. My voluminous notes here. We had an $822 plumbing bill. The sink upstairs and the bathroom upstairs was just, it sounded like water was just draining straight into the walls. I don't know. I'm not an expert on plumbing, but I don't think that's the way it's supposed to work. I don't think the water is supposed to drain out of your sink and just deposit behind the walls. I mean, I don't know. So we had some guy come out and fix that. $822. Thing was a disaster, in my opinion. I mean, there's like a big crack in the pipes. He had to do all kinds of, he was sawing and soldering. And just a day of clanking and soldering, sawing. And at the end of it, $822. So we had that. That's, and that hurricane. Don't forget about that hurricane. Hurricane Ian from Scotland, that came in there. It was a tropical storm. It was a hurricane, and then it slammed into Florida, destroyed a bunch of shit there, turned into a tropical storm, went across Florida, went out on the ocean again, turned into a hurricane again. It revitalized itself. It came back from dead. And built up strength again and turned into a hurricane again and then slammed straight into Myrtle Beach. I don't know. I mean, so I was like, what else could happen? Well, you ready for this? Something else happened. As we sit here right now, I think we're good. I think we dodged yet another bullet. But the older boy, last Wednesday was starting. He didn't feel too great, And then on Thursday he felt a little worse. He tested and he was positive, so he had COVID. I'm like, oh my God! So there's COVID in the house. There's a virus in the house. That's not good. I mean, the last time there was COVID in the house, it was when I had it, when my big old fat ass got infected, and nobody else got it in the house. Nobody else. It was just me, the other 3 adults that live here, not affected. And we didn't even change the way we were living. I mean, Toney and I were still sleeping in the same bed and everything. I mean, we weren't, and I ate dinner with the family and everything. But, and nothing happened, and nobody else got it. So this time, I'm like, we're not going to be able, that's not going to happen again. We got so lucky the first time, it's not going to happen again. Toney is going to get it, or I'm going to get it, or both of us are going to get it, and we're going to have to cancel this trip. The universe is conspiring against us. So we asked him. We said, I said, I hate to ask this stuff, but could you just maybe like steer clear? Have your meals downstairs in the family room, or and stay either in the family room or in the bedroom, and kind of don't commingle for a while. I know that's a, he said, he goes, I wasn't going to do that anyway. But anyway, so he played video games, watched TV, or stayed up in his room, and we kind of stayed away from him, and we're a week later, and none of us have any kind of symptoms. I think we got away with it. I don't know. It feels like we would have already started having symptoms, right? And I just got another booster shot the other day, last Wednesday, a week ago. And I got a flu shot in the right arm, and I got a booster in the left arm on the same day. I never had any kind of like side effects to any of these things, but later that night, I was at work, and I felt like I was like drugged. I felt like I'd been gobbling sleeping pills or something. I was like just fatigue, just really tired. So then I had to go buy an iron. Our iron. I think I'm the only one in the house that uses an iron. I don't like wearing a wrinkled shirt. When I go to work, I want my shirt to be ironed and crisp. Well, as crisp as I can get them. I don't know. But anyway, so I pretty much every day I iron a shirt. I know I should iron them when I wash them, but I don't know. It takes too long to iron 5 shirts. A week's worth of shirts. I don't want to do that. So I do it daily. But anyway, so I turned that thing on the other day, and the thing was cold. I plugged it in, and I walked away, allowing it time to heat up. Did something else, came back to it, cold as ice. That shit is deader than Kelsey's nuts. That thing will not turn on. It is dead. And I don't know. I don't know. What the hell was that? I don't know. There's like 20. We've probably had it for 20 years, and it probably costs like $12. I don't know. It's not a high-end piece of equipment. But anyway, that thing's dead, and I told Toney, and she was going, I don't know. I said, I gotta have. So anyway, I left work after I was like, I felt like I'd been stuck, like trapped in a gas leak. That's the way I felt. So I left work a little bit early, not that early, and I went to Walmart, and I went over to that section where they have the irons, the irons, as somebody calls them, And it was just a disaster. The whole area is just a mess. Everything, nothing's in its place. The boxes look like they're caved in. Look like somebody just kicked one of them. Looks like a shoe went through the side. Like, what is it? And half of the boxes are open. Some of them are taped shut, like they'd previously been opened, and then they're like, what the? Nothing's in its place. You don't know how much anything costs. So I took this one. I thought it was $27. I thought, well, I guess I can live with that. $27. I took it to the front to pay. Now, also, they were making all these announcements. Please bring your final purchases to the front. Walmart will be closing soon. So I took it up there, and there's some surly woman up there. Thing rang up for $41. I said, no, I'm not paying. I'm not buying that. She was like looking at me like, what's this? What is this? Is the next thing I'm going to have to deal with, I guess. I said, the thing says $27. I'm not paying $41. Of course, everything's it's not in the right place over there. She was like looking at me. Couldn't give 2 shits. Couldn't care less. Like I said, I'm not buying it. I said, I'm going to go back there and see if I can find one. So I started scanning it with my phone. Everything's in the wrong spot. I found one, the box was all crushed. It looked like somebody had run over it with a forklift or something. Like, what is going on? Why is everything like tore up, So it rang. It was like, I think it was like $21 or something like that. Or I don't know what it was, $20.74 or some shit like that. So I took the thing up there, and I went to the self checkout and purchased it and left. So anyway, that was the day, and I just went home and went straight to bed. I felt like I was, drugged. That was the first time I ever had any kind of like side effects. I assume it was from that. Next morning felt fine. But anyway, I'm recently boosted on that shit. Toney didn't get it either. I think we're out of the woods. I think we're out of the woods now. I think we would have already had symptoms. So and he's back. He feels fine. So. I don't know. Hopefully it won't pop up on day 2 of our trip. But the universe, man, that thing is conspiring against us. Conspiring. Without it. Drop the G on that thing. So we're leaving on Thursday. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to do a Patreon episode. I might have to. I'm thinking about. I am taking my laptop. So I might take my microphone and maybe try to record one on the road. I think I might do that. And I don't know about next week. Next week I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach. I don't think I'm going to be wanting to do any podcasting, So I don't know about next week. I'm going to have to. Maybe I can see if somebody wants to do a guest host. Zip, you out there? Hello? I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyway, that's next week. So this is how we're doing it. This was added on. We added some days to this trip. We had the Myrtle Beach trip planned and booked months ago, right? And then we canceled some other stuff, and we added days to the trip. We're going to go down to Asheville, North Carolina, the beer capital of the East. And we're going to spend a couple days there. Then we're heading over to Charleston, South Carolina, where we used to go when we used to go to Asheville too. When we lived in Atlanta, we used to go up to Asheville and stay at this bed and breakfast up there. When I was back when I was a young romantic, and and so I've spent much time in Nashville. It's a great place, and we spent much time in Charleston too. There's restaurants that we like down there in Charleston, and we're just going to spend the day there. And then we're going to head on up to Myrtle Beach and spend a week. So that's the way it's going to work. Those other days were added on at last minute, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes okay. The universe. You know how that universe is. So that's the thing. We're leaving on Thursday. Let's see. What do I have here? Oh, when we're down there, the plan, we need to, Toney doesn't have a job. She does not have a job right this minute. It's been less than 3 weeks. She applied for a bunch of stuff, but she's not getting too much reaction yet. And the thing about it is, when you're in the middle of something like that, you want instant results. You're waiting for the phone. It's as soon as you apply for something, you expect the phone to ring and say, when can you start? It's completely unreasonable. But, and I work for a giant corporation. I know how slow this shit works. The wheels turn so slowly. I know that intellectually, but emotionally, you're expecting the phone to ring. So, 2 weeks go by or a week goes by and you're like, oh shit, what are we going to do? She's not going to ever find a job, ever. That's the way you start to panic. That's kind of where we're at right now. I told her, and we had this conversation. I said, just apply for everything that makes sense. I'm not talking about sheets and shit like that. I'm talking about anything in your field, anything that makes sense. And we'll go off. We'll do our trip. Just give it time. Plant these seeds. Wait for them to start growing. And then we'll come back and hopefully we can, do the harvest. Hopefully there'll be a harvest time when we get back. Then maybe some of the seeds will have started sprouting by the time we get back. You know what I mean? And I got to get my head straight. I got to use this as like a reset. Because I'm a mess. I work. They're screwing around with my schedule. Like today, for instance, I have to be at work 2 hours early. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's like always messing with my schedule. This is a new thing, you know? I mean, it would always happen every once in a while. Can you come in and work day shift on Thursday? Sure, whatever you need, you know? And but now it's like every week. And then I had to work Saturday. I feel like last week I worked 6 days, right? And then today I have to go in early because we have some kind of audit going on. I don't know why they need me in there. What is my role in this? Why do you need me? I mean, you guys got this, right? Why do I have to be there? But they asked me to come in 2 hours early. So I have to go in early today, and it's just like it's enough to mess with me, you know? I don't want to sound like a whiner, but, you know, I have a schedule, and I've been working this schedule for years, and every time you mess with it, it screws me up, you know? So, so today's the last day. I'm off Wednesday, and we're leaving on Thursday. So tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm going to do all the packing. I want to go over there and vacuum out my car. I want to gas it up. I want to run it through the car wash, get that thing ready to roll. I got to pack. I got things to do. I want to get a haircut again. And, Wednesday's a prep day, you know. And then Thursday morning, early in the morning, we're going to take off and head on down to Asheville, North Carolina, up in the mountains, up there where the Biltmore House is. We looked to see how much it costs to tour the Biltmore House, and it costs $94 a person. Is that outrageous? What the hell is this? $94. I think that's what it was, to tour that big old house. I've been through it before, maybe twice. It feels like I've been through it twice. It's a cool place. It's awesome, but I don't know. We're not doing that. No way. Tony's down in Philly right now watching this dog named Stella. Somehow she's got on some kind of, I don't know, there's this woman that lives down there. She's friends of her sister. She's a friend of Tony's sister down near Philadelphia. And every time she goes off and does, like, she's a big shot wherever she works. She's like an executive or something. And whenever she has to travel somewhere, she asks Toney to come down there and watch her dog, or like stay at her house and take her dog out, you know, keep tabs on her dog, take her for walks, make sure she has food and all that stuff. Companionship. So that's what she's doing. She's down there right now watching this Stella. I've seen pictures. Fine animal. Looks like a fine animal. But anyway, so she's down there right now. So she won't be back till tomorrow morning. So that's crazy. But then on Thursday morning, we're heading on down there. It'll be fun. Can't wait. Beer capital of the East. You ever been to that place, Asheville? Man, there's more breweries per capita than just about anywhere. That Portland, Maine, I heard, is supposed to be pretty damn good, too. I haven't been up there ever. I don't think I've ever been to Maine. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to use this trip as a reset. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to stare out at the ocean, you know, and just, I got to get my head clear. I got to get back on track. I feel like my job and everything else that's going on all the time, this specter of no job, Tony's no job, my job, and Tony's no job are messing with me, and I need to get back on track. I need to get focused. I need to get centered again. And that's what we're going to use. This is going to be the big reset. All right? I got my travel checklist. I had years ago when I still worked at WIA, I went down. I was in Chicago. I don't know. I can't remember what the story was. I used to travel with them quite a bit, and I was in Chicago at some fancy-ass hotel, and I forgot to pack deodorant, you know, and I had to go down to the gift shop. I was like, oh, God. So I had to go down to the gift shop. They had one to choose from, one for men, one for women. That's all they had, and it cost like $14 or something, and then I was like, what the? You know, and I went back up to my room. It smelled like for like 3 days. I smelled like some kind of a walking whorehouse, you know? That's what I was like, a walking, talking whorehouse is what I smelled. It was like some strong, perfumey thing. It's like, what the? So now I have a checklist. I keep it on my computer in Dropbox, and every time I travel, I just make a copy of it, put it on my desktop. I go in there and I customize it for whatever the trip is, and I make sure that I don't forget anything. I go through and I take things off as I pack them, and I don't forget anything because it's a comprehensive, highly detailed travel checklist, and I recommend that highly. You should do that if you don't do it already. It's fantastic. Like I went in there, like I was thinking maybe I'll take my microphone down there and record the Patreon episode maybe in Asheville. And I was thinking, so I went on my checklist, which is already on my desktop, and put microphone on there so I won't forget it. And I got everything on there. I highly recommend it. I don't forget anything ever. And almost everybody does. Everybody's like, oh shit, oh my god, I forgot pants. I don't have any underwear. I forgot to put underwear. I'm going to stop at a Target or something. Never happens to me. Nope, never. Baseball playoffs are kicking in. Oh man, I don't generally like this baseball commissioner, Rob Manfred. I feel like his decisions are ludicrous. Generally, I don't know. I don't like this guy, but the way he fought for this expanded playoffs where they have and it goes on and on and on. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to have like a second season. Like some sports have that, where you basically, the main season doesn't really matter all that much because everybody gets in the playoffs, and I don't want it to be like that, but it's been kick-ass, and the way they're doing it, like when they're doing the wild card part of it, there's a bunch of games and they're stacked. They're like, it starts at like noon and it goes up to midnight. So like for like 12 hours for like 3 days. Well, first 2 days because most of the teams got knocked out. But the first 2 days, it's like 12 hours of baseball. Just one game right after the other. It's awesome. And the games are exciting. Oh man, it was awesome. And then so then the next round starts today as I record this, and they're doing it again. They're stacking them, that's cool. I mean, it's like almost like, like over the weekend, I just sitting there watching baseball like all day long. Not constantly, but it was on all the time. It's great. That's whatever. I mean, I was against it. When they were talking about it, expanding these playoffs, but it was fun. It was really good. So that's exciting. So, and it'll be over. I mean, the Reds are not involved, obviously. On account of them being like one of the worst teams in baseball. That's the reason they're not involved. Really terrible. But so anyway, that's happening right now. That's fun. I'll give you a little update on my weight loss. And I'm throwing up air quotes right now. Journey. You hate that word. This is my weight loss journey. All right. So my first week, I downloaded this app called Lose It, and I'm faithfully entering all my information, and it's pretty cool. And it makes you think about stuff. I'm not having any fast food. I'm not having any soda. I'm trying to steer clear of terrible stuff. And I log it into this app, and I don't come anywhere near. Like it allots me a certain number of calories every day. I don't come anywhere near. Just living my life. I'm eating salads. I'm eating sandwiches. I mean, I'm eating sensible stuff that I make at my house, not some shit from the Sheets made to order kitchen. Or Burger King or McDonald's or any of this, or like an entire Domino's pizza. I'm not saying that I've recently eaten an entire Domino's pizza in one sitting, but I'm certainly not saying I haven't. But anyway, so I'm steering clear of all that. First week I lost 5 pounds. Like, hell yeah. This is how it's going to be, 5 pounds a week, and I'll be right down to where I want to be. I'll be a prancing little sprite of a man in short order. So the second week, None. I lost 0. I'm like, what in the hell? I mean, I did exactly the same thing the second week as I did the first week. I got nothing. However, there was one day this past Saturday where I was just living my life in a normal fashion. Didn't eat any crap. Didn't even eat any garbage. But I ate like 3 full meals, and I had some snacks, all logged in the app. Went way over. Like, I don't know. I mean, like every day prior to that, I was not even close. That day I was like way over. I'm like, what happened? I don't know. Because I don't know. I need to make some adjustment. That was the only day in the entire time I've been doing this that I went over. But anyway, I didn't lose any. But I want to keep on. I want to keep on doing it. It's going to be hard on this trip, though, because it's going to be nothing but craft beer and frickin' cheeseburgers. And I don't know what else. And burritos and nachos and more cheeseburgers. We'll see how it goes. When I get back, I'm gonna continue on doing it. I'm gonna log everything. We'll see how it goes. I do have a call, but I wrote this No New Jeffs column, posted it on October 1st, and I took this little snippet out of it and I put it on Facebook. I made a little. Like a little graphic, and I posted it on Facebook, it's getting a lot of action. It's about how TV shows sucked in the 70s. They were terrible. TV shows in the 70s were an abomination. I mean, seriously. I mean, there were a few exceptions. There's always exceptions to everything. I'm just talking in general. It feels like in the 60s there were great TV shows. I mean, they had good TV shows in the 60s, like Perry Mason, for instance, and The Fugitive. They had the Andy Griffith Show, which is one of the greatest shows in the history of the world, one of the best written, casted, acted shows ever, the Andy Griffith Show. I mean, there was good stuff in the 60s. By the time you get to the 70s, horrible. I don't know what happened. But so I was talking about how the whole gist of the article is not everything was better in the old days, because that's what old people say all the time. Things were so much better. Well, not everything. Not everything was. And television is a prime example. So I was talking about how. So I have this little snippet on Facebook about how TV shows in the 70s were terrible. And people are in there, wow, better than the crap that's on TV now. It's like, what are you talking about? You're talking about Alice, is better than Breaking Bad, and The Sopranos, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, stuff like this. Is this what you're saying? You're saying Three's Company and Welcome Back, Kotter? These things were terrible. You go back and watch those shows now, they are like depressingly bad, It's like stupid. God, you know what I'm saying? So people are on there like, I don't know, everybody's like, better than the garbage that's on TV now. Like, that's just like some kind of lazy ass. I mean, I don't want to point anybody. I mean, I don't know who wrote that comment. I don't remember who it was. But there's several people on there kind of like saying, well, it was better back then. It's like arguing that it's better. It was better back then. Is that like some kind of just automatic thing? Like everything was better? I don't think it's true. I think there are certain things that are so much better now. And I think people have a problem saying that, admitting to that. Why? Why can't you just be truthful? Why does everything have to be better back when you were young? Why? Why does that have to be that way? It's simply not true. Anyway, check that out if you're interested. nonewjeffs.substack.com. I think it's pretty good. I cranked that thing out really fast. I think it might be one of the best ones. All right, we're at the end of this thing. I want to before I go, I do have one more. I do have one call that came in over the hotline. It's from our old friend Sharon V, and here it is.
Hi, Jeff. Sharon V here from Dallas, PA. I have a most embarrassing story to tell you. You'll love it. I've been following your blog for well over 15 years. Listening to your podcast probably for 9 months or so. I wondered why you always talk so fast. I thought you were trying to speed things up. Today I'm listening to the Office Girls from The Office, Angela Kinsey and whatever. But I hit the wrong button and they all started talking really slow, like they were drinking. I thought, what the hell? So then I found a multiplier button, and apparently I've been listening to everything 2 times the speed for all these years, thinking all podcasts sound the same. I finally got it to the right speed. Hope you enjoy this story. Love your show. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
All right. So you were playing so you think my voice sounds like so the thing's like cranked up to twice the speed? I'd like to hear what that sounds like. My big dopey voice cranked up like chipmunks or something. It's like, why does this guy like talk like this? I don't know. So you've been listening, and that's where you thought my voice was? Like I'm talking so fast, like an auctioneer. Like go through this thing, just like power through these 15-minute episodes. These 15-minute episodes of the podcast. He sounds like a freaking chipmunk auctioneer. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Well, I do stuff like that. The other day I was at work. You have to have a badge, and you have to scan every time you go through a door. You got to scan to get the door to open. You got to scan through. And I was like walking around. I was like a zombie. I had to go in there early on Saturday morning, and I was like, oh God, I was struggling. I mean, I don't do early mornings very well. So when it was finally over at 1 or 1:30 or whatever, I went out to my car. And I was trying to scan into my car. I was taking my badge, my work badge, and I was like scanning the side of my car. Like, what in the world? I was like looking around, make sure nobody saw me. And now I'm going out on a podcast and talking about it. But I do stuff like that. I do things like that. I don't. So I don't know what you think of my real voice, my big dopey voice, but hope you enjoy it. Thanks for calling in, Sharon. I do appreciate it. I think that's it. I think we're at the end of this thing. If you want to call in like Sharon, and I urge you to, the number 570-290-8151. Again, 570-290-8151. Call me round the clock. I'm going to try to do some kind of an episode about middle school horror stories. I don't know if it's going to be horror stories, but just memories of middle school. Funny, hopefully, or cringeworthy. Those are my favorite. So I'll probably do that when I get back from the trip. So, while I'm gone, call me up. Give me your middle school or junior high, as I prefer, junior high stories at 570-290-8151. It's just voicemail. And if you don't like the way it went, just let me know and I won't use it. In fact, there's one in there right now. And it was, they called and then they called right back and said, yeah, don't use that. So I won't. I'm not going to embarrass anybody. We're all in this together. This is fun, right? So give me a call if you're interested in doing that. And also, surfreportpod.com is the place you can go for expanded show notes, things like that, links, photographs. I need to get that thing caught up. I got my life's too much in turmoil, watching too much baseball. I could have been down here getting this shit caught up, and I'm sitting up there watching baseball. So partly my fault. I can't blame everything on the turmoil. What else? If you want 2 of these episodes a week instead of a measly one, you can do that. You can double down on the podcast. Head on over to, what is it called? Patreon. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Jeff K. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation. It's $4. Put it on a credit card. And in return, my way of saying thank you, you get an extra episode every week. What do you think about that shit? Man, that's good value. So $4 a month. You can do more. I mean, it's a donation. You can do $27 a month. You can do $2,700. It's up to you. Everything. It doesn't have to be 27. Not everything's 27, but you know what I'm saying. But anyway, head on over to patreon.com/JeffK and sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation. Get an extra episode every week. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to try to do an episode from Asheville for the Patreon folk. I'll try to record in our hotel room. We'll see how that goes. Maybe after a few beers. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I can wrangle Toney to come on the mic. Probably not going to work, but we'll see how it goes. So until then, you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see ya. Bye.
Like they were drinking.